Okay. Welcome to the Video Testimony Project. Tell us your name.
Chris.
Chris, nice to have you with us. We're just wanting to give glory to God by sharing people's testimonies and hearing what God has been doing in people's lives. So why don't you just tell us your story, tell us what God's done for you, how He's changed you and blessed you.
Well, I come from a long line of physical, sexual, and emotional abuse. I myself was not exactly the best parent. I was a single parent for many years. I chose my addiction over my children, and after my children were taken away from me when they were very young, I continued my addiction, which landed me in jail in 2000. In 2002, I was released from jail, and I had a very severe breakdown, and I was told that was because I held all my emotions while I was in jail. During that breakdown, I was sent to a VA hospital because I am a veteran. And walking down the hallway one day, I saw this gentleman walking down with the deepest blue eyes I ever saw. And I said to my nurse, "I'm going to marry that man." And she looked at me and she just laughed. And she goes, "Yeah, right." And later, the two of us had gotten to know each other. We were taking classes together. He asked me out on a date, and I just kind of like, I don't know. Because my first marriage was not a good marriage. And I had been divorced for 15 years, and I'm like, I don't know. But I took a chance. I took a chance. We got married. We went out on that date. I met his sons, and in 2005 we were married. But I had not dealt with my addiction, and I had not dealt with my past. So he brought me to South Dakota on vacation, and I came up here, and it was the most beautiful country I had ever met. I grew up just outside of New York City, so the hustle and bustle of all of that, and never seeing country like this, I said, you know what, let's move to South Dakota. So we went home, sold our house, and lo and behold, in 2006, we moved here. And we were doing very well, but still I had not dealt with my past. So in 2015, I went to my very first PTSD inpatient treatment. And I met a couple there that had not been married, but were part of a program, and they were telling me about it, but they weren't really involved in it. But they were very involved with the Word of the Bible. And they would talk to me about it and try and help guide me. And I still wasn't quite ready to believe that God existed. I had a hard time coming back to that because I still didn't believe in God and what a true Christian was. Because to me, a Christian was my word of a Christian was somebody who went to church, came home, and beat their children. That was the life I had. But I started realizing that that was not a Christian. That's just the way my parents were, and that's the way they raised their children. And as I was learning with my husband and with this couple, that I was thinking of God the wrong way. So when I left that treatment program, I was told by my instructor, she gave me a card, for this program called Celebrate Recovery, and I don't mean to put a pun in there for that, but she gave me that card and I said, I don't need anything like that. So I took it and I put it in my drawer. And we went on vacation that year. We came back and I kept saying, no, I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need this. So finally I decided, I'm going to go and I'm going to go check this out. So I said to my husband, I want you to stay home because I don't know what this is going to be like. So I went to my first Celebrate Recovery meeting, and I sat there in my card and I read Joshua 1:9, and I knew I had the strength to do this, and I knew I had the courage to do it. But I just needed to know that somebody was behind me to help me to. When I opened the doors to that church, it was like Jesus came to the door and held my hand and walked me through those doors and got me through there. Since that day, I haven't turned around. I knew that's where I needed to go, and I knew that day I was finally home. That I was truly home, and God truly is my Father. And I finally realized He has always been there. He was there the night that I was in jail, going through the DTs, getting on my knees, praying to Him. I promise I will never sin again. When we all know we're sinners. But when I also told Him I will never take a drink again, that was 21 years ago. And I have never taken another drink. And when I can share my testimony, I do share my testimony, because if it helps one person, then God has directed me to do what I needed to do, and that was save one person. And that's my testimony.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Awesome to meet you. So thankful for what God has done in your life, that you're willing to share with others. I pray that He's going to use you, your testimony, to set you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks for deciding to share.
Yeah, you're welcome. Sometimes